the stream. Say something. Nope. Sorry, folks. I can hear you. I don't know. Didn't touch it. I did. All right, folks. No more BlitzDesk. Bobby has failed us. Can't blame me. Can't blame me. Here, let's we'll see if people can hear music. I bet they can't hear the music, can they? I can hear it.
Yep, I
bet they can now.
So.
I'm gonna need someone to help me.
I bet they can now.
I'm gonna need someone.
Oh, I can.
I bet they can now.
Yep.
I'm gonna need someone.
So what did you do to do that? Now get me to do that. Oh, I can. Oh, I can hear me too. What'd you do wrong?
You're welcome. I fixed you.
You're not gonna even explain what you did, huh?
I fixed you.
You're not gonna explain it. Right?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, we're blaming Preach on this one.
You're welcome.
Guys.
No,
Okay.
wasn't me. You're welcome.
It was you. It was totally you.
Wasn't me.
Okay. Well,
All right, season 3 draft. We're gonna have one. Moving on. Draft pick value. So the problem with draft picks is we have decided an arbitrary value, and by we, not we. The league coaches have decided an arbitrary value that they feel that they want to get for an arbitrary draft pick that they perceive to have some sort of perceived value for a draft pick that they don't even know, because basically they're selling garbage. It's like a garage sale for draft picks, and frankly, it pisses me off. Your thoughts?
You know, I was part of that. I mean, I wasn't quite part of that. I bought high.
You did?
High.
I wasn't aware that you were a coach there, Bobby.
Yeah, I wasn't not in the draft. What am I talking about? A close colleague of mine, and I have had many talks late in the night about the draft and about last season's draft and why, you know. And this person bought high and put a lot of value in the first round and no value afterwards. Because he had sights on 3 players he wanted, and that was what? And that is what he got. He got his 3 players, and he was done. So I don't think what he did is necessarily as bad as what some other people did by selling their draft picks for, you know, nothing. I personally believe draft picks should be worth a lot.
What should they be worth?
After watching the draft last, I mean, they should be worth whatever each coach thinks, but they should definitely be worth, you know, more than $10,000.
Okay, so let's play devil's advocate here. The average mean value for a player in the play pool is cell phone going off in the background.
I'm shutting it off right now.
We'll say 100K. 100K.
For
Right.
average.
So let's say the average cost for the average player across the board is 100K.
Okay.
Even if you half that, you get 50K for an average draft pick.
Yeah. Average. What's average draft pick for you? Third
I would
round?
say middle of the pack. Yeah, third round.
Yeah.
But these are going
Yeah,
for 10K.
for third round.
10K. 10K.
Yeah. Well, you know why? And this is I'm gonna tell you right now. This is why.
Tell me.
Like I said earlier, people don't need 7 players. Also, 32 teams don't need 7 players, so there's going to be 1 or 2 teams that need it. There's only certain players you're looking at as a team because they're all mixed race, right? It's just not feasible to believe that 32 teams will need 7 players every single season for the rest. Like, they need them. Like, you don't need them. If you don't need to buy them, then those late round draft picks mean absolutely nothing to your team.
So
You're
then
not
why
gonna
even
use
have a late round draft pick?
Why? Yeah, the why? Why do you have 7 rounds of draft picks?
So
In my opinion, I feel like we need 4 max.
what if you only got 3 draft
Yeah.
picks? What if you only got 3 draft
That would-
picks? But if you
No,
wanted
have
more,
3.
you had to buy them from the league.
Yeah, that would be a great idea.
Hmm.
Now that doesn't include compensatory, whatever, I can't say that.
Compensatory.
Right now. Yeah, compensatory picks, because you set it at 3, but then some teams are going to lose, 4 or 5 players in a season, right?
Yeah.
And you can't replace 4 or 5 players with only 3 picks. So you're going to need those picks to help with that. And I don't think you should punish them for Nuffle taking their players, or NZ, or whatever you want to call it, whatever ends up killing their players, So yeah, I think 3 draft picks. Majority of teams would use 3 draft picks, and it would exponentially increase the value of draft picks by a lot.
Okay.
If you want to sell,
Bottom line, draft pick value. First round draft pick. What's the value of that?
Well, if you want to go off of what happened the last.
Bobby's pick. Bobby's price.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pick. Okay, first round. Let's say late first round, 75 to 100K.
All right, let's
mid rounds, 100 to 125. Top 10, I'd probably go up to 150. I haven't seen personally any of my colleagues go at the 150 mark, but I think it's still worth it.
Number 1 draft pick. What's number 1 draft pick worth? Season 3.
Season 3, number 1 draft pick. Ooh, if there's 7 picks, then it's not worth much. If there's 3 picks per team, then I'm gonna say that number 1 draft pick.
There'll be 7 picks.
For that.
There'll be. Why would the league make that change right now? So let's assume that nothing changes. There's 7 picks. Number 1 draft pick, season 3. Cash value.
200 max.
200 max. 150 to 200 max.
Yep.
I say it's worth 275 minimum.
Why?
Because of the degradation of the options to pick in the play pool. You don't have enough options. So 7 rounds deep. So let's say you're only going to pick 3 players. You're already up in the you're already 100 plus picks in. And if there's only 300 players to pick from, of which you only have access to, I don't know.
Okay, so I guess
25.
You're right.
25 of those.
You got to add some more stuff into it. Then you got to add whose race is number 1. Are they ahead of you?
Yeah.
How many races? How many of the teams that can pick your players are you? Like, say someone who's anti-fur, there's 7 teams that can pick Source, right? 7.
Right. I'm listening.
What?
Nothing. Go on.
There's 7 players that can pick Source. So someone who is anti-fur and there's only 2 source left in the draft and they really need a source, then yeah, I can see 250K going for the first overall pick to guarantee themselves they get that source, the one thing that's going to make their team solid, you know. But unless there's some deaths and stuff, I just don't see someone needing a pick that bad to where they can't just hire a rookie. You know?
I say 275. I would probably go down to 215 tops. It's just me.
I mean, if I had the first round pick and I wasn't using it, if I had the first round pick, obviously I'd use it because I'm a huge first round guy. I love watching the first round. It's my favorite part of the draft. I watch the first round and 32 teams picking. I love it. I wish I was in there picking with them. You know, but if I had the first overall pick, I don't think I'd give it up. So,
you know what we should do, Bobby? You know what we should do? We should broadcast the draft live, you and I.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, all right. Let's think about that. All right,
I
so
would love to. I love the draft.
So let's talk about negotiated contracts. Right now, players have a set salary cap for their position and experience. Should we allow these players to negotiate their own prices?
Oh, well, are we going to allow the players, or is it going to be like a players' union that negotiates the prices?
Doesn't matter. Should we allow negotiated contracts for players?
We're saying like let's just pick a random player. We got a star on a team that's currently set at a 200K goal a year, right? That's what he makes.
Yep.
So you can negotiate. So he could negotiate to take less money to get on a team or more money to get on a team. Are you saying like?
That's what I'm saying.
Go either way.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. That's interesting. For me, I would think it could get out of hand. You could get players that are depending on how you monitor it and how do the players just randomly get a pick? Like, are you going to have a group of people to discuss whether if this player goes to them and he's worth 200K?
You're thinking logistically. You're thinking head office, cheeseheads in the office figuring out how the logistics of this work. I'm thinking about players who want to play next year, who right now have a set cap for what I can earn. Should I be allowed to negotiate or have an agent of mine negotiate my salary contract for the upcoming year?
I don't know. I like the idea, but I also don't. There's a part of me that says that would be great. There's another part of me that says it could get way out of hand.
Why be way out of hand?
Think about this. This is kind of logistically, but think about this. You got a Soros.
We'll call him Bob.
He's one of 2 source left in the free agent market, right? There's 7 teams in the league that can take a source, and he just comes out and he's the best one, right? He's badass, and he just comes out, holding his shoulders high and says, "I want to make 400K," okay? Or he just bounces off team to team. This team says they're going to pay me this much.
Yeah.
Maybe more. So it can get out of the hand of where the point is.
No. Disagree. Disagree.
I don't know if I like it.
Disagree, and here's why.
If we have the same amount of teams per what players they can use ratio, that's fine. But then you have teams. Players like Nurgle. Players like Nurgle. Nurgle players only have 2 teams right now in the league.
You're missing.
Teams, not 7.
You're missing 2 very important points. Number 1, this has already happened. Zeus has declared himself 500K, $500,000 if you want Zeus. Number 2.
Is he on a team?
No. Number two. Your example, Bob and Steve, the lone sources, right?
No.
If you don't want those 2 and you need a Saurus, you can use a draft pick to get yourself a Saurus.
Rookie.
A rookie.
Have you seen a rookie Saurus? Have you seen a rookie Saurus play ball?
Hey, it is what it is.
They got no skills. Okay.
Is what it is. Well, exactly. So the rookie guy The rookie guy will go for $1, and he's got no skills. But if you want a guy that has skills, you're going to have to pay for him. He should be able to negotiate that price. Or you can go with the rookie with no skills.
Or they could also take a lower cut to get on a team that doesn't have the cap or the money, but they want to play on a winning team.
Exactly. Now you can go fishing for bargain players, undervalued players.
Players that didn't get picked up but want to be on a team that's winning. A playoff team, not the winners obviously, but
right,
a winning team.
I like it.
I'm growing on it. I just think it could get out of hand if it's not monitored closely. So that's just.
I mean, obviously there's oversight somewhere, and somebody in charge somewhere is going to be doing something to make something happen and whatever. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're basically you're having a heavy-handed league dictate what these players can make. This is not fair to the players. It's not fair to the players.
I mean, if they want to play in the league, I guess it's a job, right? You get to go in and negotiate your.
How many other leagues they can go in and play that is as good as this right here?
No, there's nothing better than Blitz right now in the Blitz League.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go play at
by far.
Nuffle does whatever he wants with himself league, that's fine, but you're not gonna get all the benefits that you get at Blitz. So.
That's what I'm saying. So it shouldn't matter. To them, they can cry all they want, but if they have a set salary and that's it, then they're going to play still.
Here's the deal. I don't think they're crying. I don't think they're crying. I don't think they see this coming, and I don't think they've asked for it. And I'm saying right now, they should. I think Zeus came out.
You're going to start something.
I think Zeus came out and started. I think Zeus started this. He came out and says, "You know what? I'm worth $500,000."
I think Zeus is an idiot.
Would you put him on your team if he was free?
Nope.
You wouldn't take
him on my team. I would put him on my if he was free.
If you could have that man because money was not an object, would you take him?
Oh man. Well, I don't have centaurs.
Doesn't matter.
I don't like centaurs. I've never really played with them.
If you could put that guy, if you could put that player on your team for free,
I probably would. You're right. Would I put it on there for $500K? No. Would I put it on there for $300K? Possibly.
Maybe you should be able to negotiate that with him. Right now, you can't.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe the front office, the commissioner should take a look at how great I am at negotiating, and maybe give me a side job.
He doesn't get into that stuff. He doesn't mingle with the coaches. So we'll move on.
I'm not a coach. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a coach.
Franchise sponsors.
Oh gosh.
Should we allow the franchisation? Is that a word? Franchisation? The franchisement? The franchisement.
Franchise nation.
Yeah.
Franchise nation.
I like the franchisement.
Franchisement. Okay.
Yeah. Should we allow the franchisement of sponsors? I.e., can an individual, be it, say, an interested party or a coach or a GM or somebody other than the sponsor itself, should they be allowed to franchise a sponsor? I'll give you an example. Coach Bob, right? Now, Chris James, well-known coach in the league. He's been doing his thing. He decides he wants to retire from coaching and run a sponsor. Should he be able to? Yeah.
So you can't. He's not going to coach and run the sponsor.
I'm just using this as an example. Maybe he does both.
Okay.
Maybe he does both.
Okay.
Should we allow that? Should that be allowed in the league?
If their business plan is the said coach's business plan is solid, yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be a problem. Like, I don't know, unless if you think about it, it could be a conflict of interest.
What's a conflict of interest?
In a way, because they're playing and they're sponsoring themselves, so obviously, right? Because they own the sponsor. And then they're pushing other teams to sponsor.
I think it's only a conflict of interest if they have a different sponsor other than the one they own.
Yeah. But what if they're like, "Hey, I'll lose this game we play this season if you take the sponsor."
Well, I mean, but that's collusion, and that's outside the ownership of sponsor. I mean, that's.
I like it. As long as the business plan is solid, the payoff plan is solid, because obviously they'd have to buy the company, right? So
sure.
I like it as long as they have a solid plan, and gobble gambling is not involved.
Okay, so let's stick with that and move on. Should that have to be approved by some sort of governing body that isn't necessarily the league? Because right now the league isn't a governing body over sponsors. The league has no say in sponsors. It has no governments over sponsors. It doesn't get involved with sponsors. All it does is govern right now if a team follows the guidelines of getting a sponsor, i.e., hey, you want to be in this league and you want a sponsor, you need to follow these criteria and you need to do it by this time. But they don't get involved in that.
It
But
also sues sponsors. So,
what's that?
It also sues sponsors. So the league does get involved.
The league doesn't sue any sponsors.
Is the league currently not in a lawsuit with?
Oh, you're talking about the class action. Yeah, you're talking about the class action. Yeah, okay, yep. Yeah.
So it does.
But as a government,
Okay.
governance oversight is what I'm saying. Day-to-day
Yeah,
business.
Yeah, I don't think the league should have anything to do with that, with sponsors at all. I don't, unless.
Okay, but do you think if you're a coach?
But if the league coach owned a sponsor, then the league would be involved because it's a league coach, so they'd have to be involved, right? Like.
Okay, but I own a sponsor, right? Or I want to own a sponsor. And you're one of the coaches, should the other collective coaches as a collective have to basically give that blessing, or at least a majority? No.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Especially because if I was the other way around, if I wanted to own a sponsor and I was coaching, I don't know if I would publicly want to state that I own a sponsor. I would have someone else talking for me. Like I just don't see it as a positive to publicly state that you're owning sponsors.
But I mean, but there is a transparency, right? There's a transparency in all funds and all sanctions in the league, and you would essentially have a team that is getting funds from an unknown body if that wasn't public.
Some coach would be funded or would be sponsored by them, right? So the coach that owned the sponsorship would be sponsored by them, so they're getting their money from the sponsors, right? And that's easily. I don't know. I just feel like if other coaches knew that you were a sponsor and they're enemy coaches or whatever you want to call them, I don't know. I don't think the coaches should have one coach should have any say over what another coach does, like at all.
Well, not any one coach would. Not any one coach would. You would have to have a majority. Just like, I mean, right now this kind of pseudo exists when you're talking about trades, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, you essentially have it.
How many coaches participate in like videoing or not in a trade? Probably like 9.
3.
Follow that channel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, that's their problem.
So.
But at least they're given the opportunity, so they can't complain about it.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if they're given the opportunity, I mean, if they're not given the opportunity and then all of a sudden they, whatever, start complaining about it, then what? But now they're given the opportunity, they don't say anything. Tough on them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I think it should be maybe the league's decision to allow it to happen. I don't think it should be coaches. I don't think you should need a majority of coaches. If you have a good, solid business, how many coaches are actually like real business people? Like we've seen it. How many people are over budgeting, under budgeting, not making enough money? I mean, we see it every season.
Right? A lot.
You're going to trust them to decide. Yeah, you're going to trust them to decide whether or not this business plan is good, that you should be able to sponsor or own a sponsor. No, I would I wouldn't put that out there. Don't get me wrong. I like most of the coaches in the league. Okay, I just don't know if I would trust them to look over a business plan and tell me legitimately if they understood or not, and if they agreed with it or not.
That's fair. All right, let's move on. Blitz round. You ready?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, get comfy. Got hard-hitting questions today.
Oh, God.
Well, first of all, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else on your mind tonight?
It's been a good season. That's all I got. I enjoy watching Blitz, and I enjoy talking this. So,
all right.
I don't know that much.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
2-minute turns, too short?
Perfect.
5-minute turns, too long?
Way too long.
Gravity, friend or foe?
Both.
Batman, superhero or chump in a batsuit?
Best superhero ever.
Creamy or chunky?
Creamy.
Tinfoil hats, fashion statement or lunacy?
Fashion statement.
Best sponsor in the league?
Nah, I can't answer that. I don't know.
Last question. I need you to finish this sentence. BlitzDesk.
I'm not wearing any pants.
We're not wearing any pants. Seriously, you're not wearing any pants?
No, seriously not.
Oh, me neither. Seriously.
Seriously. I'm in my undies.
Which is weird.
Why is that
Sort of.
weird?
Yeah, I guess it's
I
not.
mean, it would be weird if someone knocked on my door.
Yeah, we got polo shirt on, so.
You're right. At least I'm like fancy from the waist up, right?
Yeah.